NCRP Productions presents Torg Eternity by Ulisses Spiele. The Breifne Crown, Episode 7. Moving forward, we would like to give you a content warning. Tharkhold and other realities are places where very bad things happen to good people. Acts and situations in this podcast may trigger those who suffer from trauma caused by sexual assault, torture, slavery, and violence. Please, listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to a Sunday of Possibilities. My name is Greg, and I'll be your GM for the Breifne Crown adventure, and we are playing Torg. I will let my Storm Knights introduce themselves to you, starting to my right.
Hello, everybody. This is David, and I'm playing Elias Strode, the Sakelum Chaplain from Aurora.
This is Victoria. I'm playing Iara Bay, the Elf Necromancer from Isle.
Hey, this is Barry. I'm running Max Elite, the Freedom Fighter from Tharkhold.
This is Shan, and I'm playing Azrael, the Cyber Witch from the Cyber Papacy Cosm.
And this is Tori, playing Evangeline Francis, the Monster Slayer from Aurora.
All right. And last session kind of was an introduction session to the next phase, the next act of this campaign. So it didn't really start off super exciting, but it kind of ended exciting. Can someone tell us where we left off and what happened?
We left off with me panicking mid-skydive, and I might die. That's where we're headed. Towards the ground.
So you guys were in a hey-ho, which is a high-altitude, high-open jump, tandem jump, hey-ho. And Azrael just was not used to this type of stimuli.
No, it's not my favorite.
So when we left, you guys were tumbling to the ground, and Midge and Tony were working with you, Father Elias and Iara, to be able to position, to be able to help.
I'm very comfortable in my current situation.
Yeah, so I mean, you're good with God, so...
Yeah. If we die here, I go to a higher place and serve a higher purpose.
And it's by His divine will.
Right. It does not feel like today is my day.
So at this point, with the two teams converging and trying to catch up with the tumbling, and right now what's bad is they need to get leveled out, because if they continue to tumbling, when the chute deploys, there's a possibility of them wrapping up the chute lines, which is going to, cause the chute to be able to not deploy fully and descend. So it's actually, at this point, we are going to move into a dramatic scene.
Oh, no.
Like initiative, basically.
So now we are going to initiative.
Okay.
So, Ava, you had panicked, but Svetlana was able to get you under control, but right just at the limit, so you will not be able to assist in this. And Max, the same thing with you. It's everything Roger can do to keep your big bulky self from going into the same predicament. So, Father Elias and Iara, you guys will be able to add in your roles to assist. And again, with the dramatic scenes, you have 5 turns to be able to get control of a very specific role.
How close are we to Azrael and her tandem?
You're able.
We kind of dive in.
You're
How
able
many
to.
meters?
You're able to maneuver in.
So we're close.
Yeah,
Are
you're
within
close.
5 meters?
You will be by the end of the turn.
Because once we get that close, I'm gonna perform a miracle, which will hopefully help boost the die rolls for you guys to get under control.
Okay, so to begin this scene, the first roll is going to need to be a willpower, just to be able to focus
3.
and again.
Does
And
one of us need to roll that, or just all of us need to roll?
Well, part of the rules is you need to have an A. There is no A on this card, so you guys are continuing the tumult and the fall. So that's turn 1.
We automatically fail.
You guys,
He pulled 2 cards that don't have an A, and we have 5
Do we spend a
chances.
possibility to get you to draw a different card, or how does that work?
no, possibilities don't work on this. So basically, this is like a chase, a dramatic scene. And so on the drama deck, when I pull, and I did shuffle, but you have to have
An
A first. And at this point, no. So what Hella does is she actually cuts you guys from the chute, from the primary chute, in her attempt to get you straightened out. So you have radio communications, and she's telling you this, and so she goes, and so as you guys are falling, she said, Azrael, you're going to have to trust me. You need to go limp. So we're going to cut from the primary chute, and then we'll deploy the secondary. Do you understand?
Am I panicking too much to understand her?
So she is going to make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
And you are going to make a willpower roll. Let me roll her persuasion. You can tell she's kind of on the verge of panic herself.
Oh, shit. Alright, so minimum of 10. That's a 15.
Nice.
16.
16, yeah. It was a difficult challenge, but you were able to just kind of calm down, and at that moment when you stop flailing, you can actually feel the resistance that was just start cut away as she's cutting just that from the primary chute, because it's unable to open right now. So at this point, you guys are definitely in free fall, and while you're in free fall, she's telling you, we need to try to right ourselves again. I'm going to let the other teams to help us continue to stay limp. And so at this point, again, you guys can hear this. Your radios have noise dampeners, so it doesn't come across, with the scream of the air falling. And so Tony and Midge are working their way in. So they're going to make maneuver rolls. You guys can add +1, or you could roll to add.
I'll add +1 to Tony's.
Okay, so Tony's rolling his maneuver, and
I'll add a +1.
so he's trying to get in close, but he's not able to. So you guys roll. Midge is able to get in. So you get in close. So at this point, what we need is a maneuver roll from you, Azrael, to be able to help Hela get righted again, get stabilized.
Okay, maneuver roll.
And so since you guys are in close, Iara, you can add +1, or you could roll.
You get to choose after the roll is done, right?
No, so if you roll, that's what's thrown in.
No, what
Roll
I'm
is
saying, you
cool,
can
guys.
choose after the other person's roll is done.
Well, in this dramatic scene, no, we're playing at the but before all rolls, we're making declarations of what we're doing. Okay, so what was your roll?
9.
9.
9 also.
So you're adding 9 to it, so that's 18.
Whew.
You're able to stabilize. As soon as you guys stabilize, what you feel is the atmosphere around you just seems to change. And so the atmosphere becomes oppressive, and it becomes dark, and something
was dark already.
foreboding. But not like the dark that you're used to. It's more sinister, almost like the air itself is taking joy in the panic that you're feeling and wanting you to fall.
See the demon coming.
And we are now in Tharkhold reality, and everybody go ahead and grab a Cosm card. So what that is the world laws for Tharkhold, the law of domination. Game mechanic wise, when intimidation is an approved action and you succeed, you draw 2 destiny cards and you get to choose which one to keep. And then the law of pain is you actually recover shock when you deal a wound to somebody else. The world rewards you when you hurt somebody.
Gross.
So at this point too, what I'd like to do is, just for our listeners, is Ulysses Spiele puts out a trigger warning for Tharkhold. And so what I want the audiences to know is Tharkhold deals with demons and depravity, and so oftentimes body horror, slavery, torture are issues. And so I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but depending upon the gameplay, these issues may come up, so just be warned.
No children or animals were harmed in the,
In the role-playing of this game.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you're tumbling through, you feel it, but you're able to make that maneuver roll and get yourselves righted up right now. So at this point, you need to make a find roll, so that way we can deploy the secondary chute. And you guys are there, so you're able to add if you want.
11.
16. So as you guys up on top are coming, moving into deployment plays of the phase, and so, but you can see the danger that Hela and Azrael were in, but you're able to actually see them flatten out and get stabilized and get back into position, and then all of a sudden you see the shoot, whoosh, just deploy, air catches, and you feel the jerk as you stop your descent and then start gliding down, avoiding the danger.
Good.
And everyone else, as you start moving into position, shoots deploy without incident as you start drifting slowly down to the blasted lands of irradiated ground and mutated animals and people in the demon-controlled realm of Tharkhold.
I pay attention to my radiation badge to see if we're going into a highly irradiated zone or not.
Still green.
Okay, good.
Absolutely still green.
Hey, keep an eye for any winged things flying through the air that might be coming towards us with malicious intent.
So go ahead and roll find.
I'm worried that in this place where there is no religion, that ask and you shall find is
Dangerous.
very dangerous there, Dave.
You don't know what you may find.
Well, I got a 12.
12, as you're looking, you're not seeing anything, and about this time, it is starting to lighten up, so it's that pre-dawn gray.
As we're getting closer, do I see anything on the ground?
As you start looking closer down on the ground, what you can see is it is basically almost like a wasteland. So you can see just, bits of rubble, just little bits of, it looks like flora, which is kind of surprising, after described what you've been told. And it looks like a blasted, just wasteland.
Road Warrior meets Chernobyl.
Yes. And that's think Road Warrior.
Invisible death.
And you guys drift down. And so the landing goes off without hitch, and immediately the observation that you had of this team, and their lackadaisical nature coming into it, you can see the efficiency in which they're moving and disconnecting and getting their shoots done. It's like a switch turned on, and they're moving as a very well-formed, well-practiced team.
It makes me feel better.
What do you guys do as they start gathering their shoots?
What were we told to do?
Not really briefed at anything.
But we're released?
Oh, yeah.
All right, then I'm going to find Azrael and go stand by Azrael.
And I'm looking around for something on the horizon that would kind of give me an idea of, we should walk that way.
You have a compass, and you're told that you were landing north, so Moscow's going to be south of you. You've also been advised that Moscow State is in the southwest portion of Moscow. So, and the reason why you're coming through here is the potential for less detection coming in from the blasted lands.
I'm gonna describe because I saw a vision after the Lady of the Lake talked to me, right? Where I saw...
When you try to divine?
Yeah. So I'm gonna describe that to Boars and see, since he seems more familiar with the area, see if he recognizes it.
So after the team packs up their chutes, and you see that they're actually burying it, they're hiding the chutes, so they're not going to take it with them. And when they get finished, they all kind of gather up, and you guys just kind of gather up, and as you come in, you can ask them that.
Mr. Boars.
What? And again, the jovial nature of, of this prior meeting with you is now gone, and it's just all business.
I believe we are looking for an area that is, and I don't remember all of the description, but I remember it being a wasteland of a city, and so I go over what I remember.
So he listens and he says, I can't say that I can think of anything in particular or anything specific, but what you saw and what you described is Moscow.
That is what we believe too, but I wanted to confirm it with somebody who is more familiar with the area.
I can't think of anything specific. So at this point, and he looks at you, he's like, if it's okay, I'll go and have my people take point on this since we know the way a little bit. If you want your team to go and cover our rear guard, then we can move out.
We got your 6.
Roger that. And so kind of snaps, and you can see his team fan out, and they start moving out. You guys doing anything?
I'm looking around. This is not Tharkhold.
So
it has the feel.
Exactly.
It has some of the look, but this is not Tharkhold that I know.
This is not the Tharkhold that you know, but it feels like home. Mm-hmm. So there's that sense of comfort in feeling what you know, but yet that sense of discomfort that your surroundings don't fit with what you know.
Right. So head on a swivel for me.
So head on a swivel.
I'm going to follow
I'm not
the
gonna say the Q word.
I'm
I'm not saying it.
Okay, so you guys got get into a pattern to follow up. Basically, it's one big diamond pattern that you guys are moving along.
I'll keep an eye on my radiation badge.
Keep an eye on the radiation badge. The green has lightened, but yet it's still green.
Okay.
As you guys are moving along, the feel that you get is like even just the plant life that has managed to grow is sickly, and it feels like if the plant could hurt you, it would. There's that pending sense of a fight coming, and you don't know when, you don't know where, but it's just that constant feeling of somebody looking at you with menace and with ill intent as you guys move.
Do we hear anything?
Nothing yet, except just the morning wind as it comes in from the north, hitting your back, cold and chilly.
You just hear the feet crunching on broken ground.
Do we smell anything?
The smell that you have is like a weird mixture of like a sense of decay on it, but not fresh. It's old, mixed in with the dust of the rubble that was going around, and then just almost like a weird acidity to it, which possibly could be the radiation. It's not painful to breathe, it's not burning your lungs or your nose, but it's not pleasant.
Are we all still wearing the oxygen masks?
No, they removed theirs.
I kind of want to keep mine on.
So the timing of it, because of all the weight, it was timed pretty much for the hey-ho.
Does it not work with the rest of the harness or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty quickly, you're breathing nothing.
Right.
Fogged up. Throw it away. Of course, that still worked. The sicknesses has fallen over this land. I don't like it.
Tony, he's the kind of closest to you, and he says, "You never do get used to this feeling." And again, his tone is somber, and you can see him just constantly moving his assigned direction, his assigned portion of the formation. So as you guys are moving, all of a sudden, Svetlana, who is up and behind Boris from her side, she raises up her left hand. So her submachine gun that she has down is, pointed out. She raises up her left hand. So, those of you that notice, she's raising up where she still actually has her finger on their, index and ready to fire. And so, does everyone stop when she raises up?
Yep.
Halt.
Yep.
I'm
So
gonna unholster.
the team stops and everyone just kind of drops down to a knee. You see Boris fall back to her. They whisper quickly, and then Boris kind of skims back to you guys. He goes over to you, and he says, "Svetlana sees 2 potential vehicles coming up on the horizon.
Friendly or not?
Nothing in this place is fucking friendly."
Should
he starts looking around.
should we hide or engage?
He's like, "Best bet is to hide. Right now, we need to get you inside of Moscow, and if we could do that undetected, the better. I need somebody to roll a find roll to look for a place to hide."
I've got 5. What's yours at?
13.
Okay.
Not me. Don't
I
ask
was like,
me.
mine has 9.
Barry touched my dice.
10, roll again. Nice.
15.
15. So, yeah. So, when you hear that, you look around and you can see what looks to be a small entrance in a pile of rubble that was once a building. But you look in and you can actually see potentially inside of this is, the gap is big enough to be able to get both teams in.
Over here. And I point towards where I see.
And so when the team, Juliet Company, they sees it, they see you pointing up there, and it's near to your side. And so at that point, they take the 6 as they cover and basically waiting for you to move.
To the hiding spot.
Yes.
Let's go.
So as
Super
your team,
stealth.
As your team moves, you can see them peeling off, one by one, and you're able to get into this hiding spot. And when you get inside, it definitely was the collapse of a building, but it seems to be just the structure right now, supporting the weight of it, and be able to hunker down in here. So Roger's the last one that comes in, and he says, "One of mine and one of yours to watch the door."
Yes.
Did we cover the tracks enough?
I let in, so they were behind us. They should have done
Do you
that.
think they saw us come in with the jump?
It's possible, but at this point, let's just go ahead and wait and see. So Roger himself kind of takes point at the door as he's just standing up on the edge and back up against it amidst the opening.
No, I'll be the second.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
I find a place to hide in the shadows, but a place where I can still see outside the building and watch as these vehicles approach.
Okay.
Yeah, I duck down so I'm not easily visible, but I want to keep an eye on everything as best I can.
Okay.
There's no space up front, so I will stay in the back. I'm just ready.
Roger?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of try to stay down as low as I can, trying to kind of hide, but also be able to see as much as I can.
The back end here, I'm going to look for a way out. A second egress.
Are you doing it?
I'm not digging.
Okay.
I'm just looking.
So I will first need you to make a stealth roll.
10?
10. A standard success. So you move fairly quietly, not ninja-like, and then go ahead and roll find.
3.
You go as far as you can without making any additional noise or having to
Or actually
move.
moving things, right.
But from what you can tell, without moving some
no
of the
other way
debris, yeah, I mean there may be, but you definitely don't want to risk
Drawing attention to
drawing
ourselves.
attention to where you're at. Few minutes pass by, and it just is drawn out. Just that long tension, and then you could hear the sounds of motorized vehicles coming. And so when you look out, Azrael, you can see what appears to be like large dune buggies that have like metal plates welded to the side, and in front of the dune buggy seems to be some sort of metal plow that is been welded to form a point at the front, like some sort of ram prow. Affixed to the top of the armored dune buggy appears to be like a large ballista style crossbow with basically long metal rods that are affixed to it, so it appears to be a ballista. And there are 2 people manning that, 2 additional that are on the sides of the buggy, including the driver, and all appear to be armed, and there's 2 vehicles.
We say they're on the side, they're like hanging on, kind of thing. Riding on standing on a platform.
But inside of the vehicle, so they're
okay.
actually standing up where you can see them on the sides, but they're can easily duck down behind the armor plating of the vehicle.
So there's 2 on the top, 2 on the side, and
the driver.
So there's 5 total. 2 vehicles.
2 vehicles.
10 people.
10 people.
2 crossbows.
2 crossbows.
Okay.
So they come to a stop, maybe about 30 feet from
shit.
your guys' entrance, and you can kind of hear them talking. You can't catch full conversations.
Can I try and eavesdrop to see what they're saying?
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, everyone inside can hear. I mean, obviously, Azrael, you're going to be able to hear a little bit more being inside.
Are they speaking English?
They are speaking English. So the way that they're dressed is they're not dressed in any style of military or uniform. They're not soldiers. And so kind of dressed in like ragtag, homemade armor that's, just strapped to their shoulders, strapped
Like
to
a
their
bucket
chest.
for a helmet?
I mean, not that bad, but yeah. Again, think Road Warrior.
Okay.
And you can hear the conversation that they're having, talking about, they definitely seen something coming down here. And so at this point, one of the drivers starts telling the people, well, I guess we can start, breaking up and looking, see if we find where it went. So Boris looks at you and he says, any ideas?
Well, in this realm, domination is
A good thing.
like a good thing. So I think we need to surprise them. Because they're going to find us.
They said it, didn't they?
We saw something.
They saw something.
Yeah.
They may have seen the plane.
Or us,
No.
like me flailing through the sky.
So he's quiet for a moment and he says,
I was going to say, I whispered to Tony, scavengers?
Tony whispers back, probably marauders.
Can they be reasoned with?
At the barrel of a gun. So back to Boris. He's thinking for a moment and he says, normally I would agree with you, but I think the mission takes priority. You need to get to Moscow.
Then what do you suggest? Run?
I suggest my team draw their fire, and when we pull them away, then you run. You need to get to Moscow and find out what you can. We're secondary. Do you understand?
How are you going to survive that? There's 10 of them.
We may not. We've survived fights before. Point is, you are the priority. You are the mission. Do your duty.
I pat him on the shoulder and I get ready my team to hoof it.
Before we head out, is there a nearby building that's within 30 feet of us?
Not an intact one.
Okay. But there's, like, I imagine there's stuff around.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, again, it's, the outskirts of Russia, was still, not just, forest. It was a full-blown major metropolitan city that got obliterated by a nuke. And so the foundations are there, but it just crumbled and...
Is there a building, like, across the street from where we are within 30 feet?
Not intact. There's rubble.
Okay. So I am going to cast Playful Wind and gather nearby air and channel it into a wind that can move a single unattended object 1 kilogram or less up to 10 meters slowly in a direction of the caster's choice. So I'm going to make some noise over there, basically, to try to distract them and get them to focus over there.
As you start getting ready to cast, Boris holds up a hand like this to you.
Okay, I'll stop.
Prepare your team, and I'll prepare mine.
So are we running off foot, or are we taking one of the vehicles if we have the opportunity?
Well, sounds like they're going to abandon the vehicles because they said split up.
Right.
We can be more stealthy on foot. I'm afraid that if we get in a vehicle, we'll just draw more attention to ourselves trying to get any closer to Moscow.
So, what do you tell your team?
Run like hell.
I can cause a distraction.
Whatever you can do.
So Boris is conferring with his team, letting him know, and so you can see them stacked 2 on each side of the entrance. Boris comes back to your group, and he says, "Did you brief them?"
I did. We're ready to go.
Let us draw their attention before you leave. So again, you are the mission. We're secondary. We've been here before. We've done this fight before. This is what we get paid to do. Wait until it's safe, and then once you do not be seen. Understood?
Okay.
Understood.
And so he nods and goes back. So when he gets up to the right side of the door frame, he taps up and you can see the movement up forward. The 2 nod at each other. And at that point, they both simultaneously move out and open fire.
We're running.
So from here, the team goes out and they start engaging in the Marauders in a moving battle. And you can hear gunfire being returned from other sides, and you can hear excitement and pointing, and their engines start revving up again as they're attempting to lead away. How long do you wait, and what do you do?
We should wait for the exchange of the Marauders before we make our move. Their focus is not on the building, though.
Yeah, can I watch for what appears to be an opportune moment to go?
Mm-hmm. So at that point, what you see is you can definitely see them moving, and you can see the Marauders engaging. And so that's the team, obviously you lose sight of them pretty quickly, and you can see the Marauders driving past the door, maybe about 10 feet away, as they drive along a pathway that they see and that they're chasing. How much longer do you wait?
Well, I don't really know how to describe that. Whatever I felt was they looked far enough away or weren't looking, and then we're going to take off when they're not looking.
So it definitely looks like the 2 vehicles are focused on the 5 that left.
Go, go, go.
Just take off out the door running.
Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do is enter back into a dramatic scene. So,
Hope for an A.
Here we go.
hope for A. The first thing that we're going to need to do is roll a find to be able to find a suitable route through the debris. First card, I'm in A.
Nice.
Sweet.
Who's rolling the find?
Not me.
I am.
So, this is one where all of you guys can roll to add or just add +1.
I will roll to add.
Okay?
I'm going to add +1.
So +1 from Max and Azrael.
I'm going to spend a possibility.
So 5, 4.
Ava, what are you doing? Are you rolling or going to add +1?
I'll add +1.
Okay. So it's going to be +3 and then...
So 19 for
So-
me. So I'm adding 19 to...
No, you just add the plus from the dice.
What's that?
You just
Oh.
add the plus from
Okay,
the dice.
so
roll.
+9.
Okay, so 18.
So 18, is that what the plus is?
Yes.
All right, so yeah, as you guys move out, just kind of with, fingers pointing, silent gestures, you're able to find a good path to be able to get through. So B is going to be maneuver, just to make sure that nobody, trips up and bounces. And there is a B.
I have a 9 maneuver.
So again, same thing. You can add +1 or roll to add your bonus.
I'll have +1.
So +1, Plus 1.
Plus 1.
Plus 1.
So plus 4.
13.
13. 12. It was difficult, so you're able to make that. So you're able to maneuver through the broken down rubble at a good, quick place. At this point, it is going to be a stealth roll to see if you guys are maneuvering as stealthy and unassuming as possible. There is a C.
Ah,
I
Nice.
have 11.
Yeah, you don't
9.
want to roll this. I have plus 1.
Who's rolling with a
I'll
plus
roll
1?
to add.
Plus 1.
I'll roll.
Plus 1. Okay.
And Iara is rolling to add.
Plus 6.
17.
So 6
Plus 9 total.
So 9, so 7. Yep, no problem. You're able to get through. And at this point, now what we're doing is going to be just a straight dexterity roll to move as fast as possible. There is no D on this one.
We have one more shot.
So we have one more shot at this point.
Critical problem.
Critical problem.
Oh, God.
In the world.
What you
Nice.
guys see as you're trying to maneuver through is where you're going was a bit of a hill, and so you ascend the hill. When you reach up on top, all of a sudden you get silhouetted, and you look down and you see a third wagon,
Oh, of
No,
course.
shit.
Hopefully we can take this one out though.
and they see you.
So we see the third wagon. I'm going to play my Cosm card. Looks like trouble. Hostile characters or creatures head your way looking for trouble. They might be thralls, raiders, or horrific aberrations. All Storm Knights gain 1 to 3 possibilities once the enemy is dealt with, depending on the strength of the foe. Because we don't know what's in that vehicle yet.
So at that point, you guys definitely seen each other, and it is getting ready for initiative. The reality of Tharkhold takes place and imposes itself, and coming over the horizon, what you see is this attack drone.
It's like the ones in Star Wars.
Okay, here it is. So basically, you guys see 2 of these.
It looks like a little tiny, like stereotypical alien spaceship, just for the people listening. And it has like
Shotguns.
little thrusters in the back and 2 spinning turret guns.
When we say little, I mean, is it big enough like we could all fit in it kind of little? Or is it little like, you know?
Well, when he says drone, I'm assuming it's unmanned.
Like a little smart card kind
Yeah.
of thing size.
Okay.
So for those, go as you look at it. People who want to can pre-initiative make a find roll.
12.
12,
Yeah.
11.
23.
23. What you
11.
see. So it was a very difficult. So 15, and you would have got a 15. So what you see is on top of the drones, like on the very top, it appears to be a human brain with wires connected to it that are connected to this piece of machine, and
That's weird.
that is weird.
So is it, if you could give us like a circumference, like is it not that big?
Circumference-wise, no. So the guns on it, it's actually going to be maybe about the size of the table, but round.
So like
it's
3
heavy
feet
enough
by
to
5
support
feet?
the heavy guns.
Okay.
Yeah,
Big drone
With a brain on top.
with a brain.
with a brain on top. So all Storm Knights gain 1 to 3 possibilities once the enemies are dealt with. So at this enemy, you need to deal with. All right. So from on top of the hill, they're maybe about 40 feet down.
Does it say reality rated though?
The Marauders, you can't feel
I think the brain saucers might be reality rated.
unless you take the time to, make a reality roll to feel it. You wouldn't be able to tell. All right, so this is a standard scene. Villains first, but heroes get a surge.
It means we get what, 2 actions?
No, surge is a surge of reality, and so you must roll for contradiction.
Will this
Oh,
tell
it's
me whether
bad.
they're reality rated or not?
No, so basically Tharkhold's reality is pushing itself so hard on you right now. Everyone except Max has to make a reality roll or disconnect.
We just have to not roll a 1, right? Or is this different?
No, this is reality. So it's
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
And does the Realm
10.
Runner -4 affect this?
Correct.
7, but I can automatically not disconnect the first time because I took Realm Runner.
So basically, what the 4 is going to add is instead of a difficulty number of 10, it makes it a difficulty number of 6.
Oh, okay. Then I rolled a 6.
Okay,
Okay.
And I have Realm Runner, so I am good.
Then I have a 4.
Oh, okay. So you still disconnected?
Yeah.
Okay.
no.
So yeah, but Realm Roamer, you push back against the reality, and you maintain yours, having to traverse, multiple realms now.
I am so glad I took that.
So you disconnect. Okay. And you made yours?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm hanging high on the faith.
So hanging high on the faith.
Yep.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. The ballista on the top of the wagon kind of like immediately comes and whoosh, just rolls right at you.
Oh, is this an energy weapon?
It is not.
Fuck, never mind.
16 versus your dodge.
9.
9, so that is 7. That is going to be a good success. 1 bonus die. This thing does... Oh, Jesus Christ. Damage is 18. Plus...
An arrow like that big around.
Are you just trying to kill me?
Every single
I can heal you.
time.
So 18 plus 9 is 27.
Jesus. Oh, no. Ooh, that's bad.
Your armor or your toughness?
8.
So that's what?
19.
19?
Oh.
Yeah, that is going to be...
I'm dead.
He's got pulp, huh?
Yeah, I
3
did.
wounds,
That's it.
6 shock.
3 wounds. Once we go 0, that's it,
She
right?
can soak.
Oh, you can soak. Yeah. There you go. He's at reality point or possibility.
So what you guys see is the ballista just kind of, turns, shoots this 3-foot long metal spike. It doesn't fly pretty, but it comes up and tags Azrael center mass.
Ooh.
For a brief moment, you see it just kind of just puncture her. She spits out a mouthful of blood. For a brief moment, you see that, and
I died.
You go and re-roll that.
so add to it possibility.
There when you touch your dice.
There we go.
18.
18. So 10. That is going to be a good success.
2 wounds, all shock.
2 wounds, all shock.
Nice.
So what you guys see is the spike just impale her, but at one point it stops actually moving, and the spike kind of falls. You still see an opening inside of her armor and blood trickling down, but that spew of blood that you saw as she vomited out from her mouth no longer is there. She's hurt, but she is up and eyes are focused and ready into the fight.
You're like, I'm okay.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
So at that point, the people shooting, so it's a submachine gun that is one being fired at
yay.
Ava. Oh, so that is going to be a total of 31. So that's going to be 20 versus your dodge.
11.
11, so that's going to be a good success, so 1 extra bonus die. So that is going to be 18 against your toughness.
9.
9, so that's going to be 9, and that is 1 wound, 2 shock. So on Max, first one that fires, don't really know where he's firing at. Looks like he may have been shooting at you, but it goes wide. Same thing with the person seemed to be shooting at you, Father Elias. The one on you. Yeah, these guys, the guy controlling the ballista did a much better job. Everyone else shooting here did not do well. So, somebody roll me a D6. Any odd number, the drones will be attacking
What's an odd number?
the marauders.
Nice.
Oh.
It was
So-
odd.
It was odd.
So 3.
Nice.
So what you guys see is that drone that came up, and the guns on it just shoots down, and just the guns itself start opening up fire. It's just this burst fire, just like basically a minigun, just shooting. But it seems to be hitting all around the vehicle itself. And the second one, roll me another D6. Same thing,
4.
This time.
even. And so, yep, it is shooting at you. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Max hasn't got its range right, as it's kind of just starts trying to walk the line of fire up towards you, but you can see that it's coming towards you. All right, your guys' go.
Lightning.
Who are you aiming at?
The fucker that shot me.
So the one at the control of the ballista?
Yes.
Are there 2 people at the ballista?
Yes.
Okay.
But one was shooting,
Oh,
and then the one that was
Okay.
actually operated the firing mechanism. So their dodge is 10.
12.
12, that's going to be a standard success.
16 damage. Also, I ignore 4 armor.
Oh, okay. So they have a toughness of 10, but 2 of that is from armor, so 8.
16 damage.
So, okay. So the lightning comes down, hits this guy straight up on the top, doing a wound to him. Tell us what we see.
And remove one shock.
And you did a wound, so you actually, any shock, you remove a shock.
Fuck yeah.
I think you already did that though with your.
Oh yeah, I have no
when you're
shock.
soaked?
Yeah.
I'm fine now. Yeah, I just have one wound. It's like he slowly burns from the inside out from where the lightning hit his skull, so he just starts like turning into ashes down.
And so as you guys start seeing just the ash, and everyone just kind of look around, and then his body just starts crumbling from the inside out. And what you feel is this sense of and this artificial euphoria just wash over your body.
Like it like I'm feeling euphoric, but wasn't my euphoria.
No, it's Tharkhold telling you, good job.
Gross.
Well done. Welcome. Who's next?
I'm gonna cast armor on myself.
Okay.
Roll for alteration magic. So it's a 16 and the DN was 10.
Okay. So that's going to be a good roll.
So I get a +2 to my armor. And since that takes an action, I'm also... Can I try to get back over the berm so I'm not, like, facing down on
Yeah,
these
you
guys?
can one move.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to move back so I'm out of air eyesight, but I'm not going to, like, get out of the fight either. I'm just moving out of the way for now.
So basically you're in partial cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. Who's next?
I'll go next. So I can see the group that's on the vehicle, right?
Yes.
Who looks like they're in charge? Quick snap judgment. That person, I'm going to send a telepathy to them. Are you kidding me? You brought the drones down on us? Shoot the drones.
The first one that kind of has that impression would be the driver.
There we go.
And so their mind is going to be... Is it mind or spirit that you're attacking?
That is a good question.
Or willpower?
Telepathy is... Difficulty number is easy, so it's 8.
Oh, so you're not rolling against
No, I'm not
their
rolling
attributes?
against anything. And on a good roll for telepathy, did I get a good roll? That would be a 13, 14.
Yes.
Okay, with a 14, I can connect up to 10 mines, so I'm grabbing all the mines in there.
Okay.
And telling them, you idiots, you brought the drones down on us. Attack the drone, not us.
So that is going to be a trick, I'm going to go ahead and say, because you're tricking them attacking.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll trick. And it is going to be against their mind, which is 7.
That's a 9.
So it's going to be a standard success. I'm going to say that you didn't succeed in getting them to turn, but you got them double thinking, so they're going to be stymied for the next round, which is -2.
And you said trick is on the card?
Trick is an approved action, so you actually get to draw a card. All right, who's next?
I'll go. So I'm gonna play my reality card. All right, so it's supremacy. I'm just gonna gamble and hope that these things are reality rated. It says play against a reality rated foe for the rest of the scene. Your attacks against him add +1 bonus damage. The effect ends if the foe manages to successfully use intimidation against your character. So I'm gonna go against the drones.
Okay.
How far up are they?
Oh, they're maybe only about 30, 40 feet.
Okay, cool. Infernal Judgment. I can
Okay.
go 25 meters. So my DN is their dodge or dex.
So on this vehicle is, one moment.
Is it what? Every 5 points over what you need is bumps it to the next one? Is that
So
what?
5 is a good success, 10 is an outstanding success. Okay, it is going to be a 12.
All right. So it's going to be 21.
21 is going to be an outstanding success.
Cool. Is it reality rated?
No, they are not.
Okay. So I get 2 bonus dice. So it's 16 damage plus another 7. So that is 23 damage.
Their toughness is 22, so
Oh
they take,
shit.
so they end up taking 1 shock.
All right. I'll get 1 up.
How many people are in the vehicle?
So there are 5. Now there are 4 since one just got cooked.
All right.
And remember, you are disconnected.
I forgot about that. I forgot that she disconnected.
So when you're disconnected, one of the things you cannot do is you cannot spend possibility, you cannot soak damage, you cannot use equipment that's outside of the axiom that it's in. So I think though the tech here is pretty high, so you should be able to use your gun. But since again, new to Torg, one of the things that's going to be really difficult is if you get shot until you reconnect, you can't spend reality
So
to soak it.
All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and use my potion launcher, aim it at the vehicle, and send out Thunder Brew.
Okay.
Sounds like really good coffee.
Thunder
it does.
See if it.
or coffee that the Thundercats drink.
So you rolled it to 20, so roll another d20 and add it.
Is it 37?
That is going to be 11 points to add to your roll. And I'm assuming this is against their dodge.
And this uses fire combat instead of missile weapons.
Okay.
So add to the 13. So yeah, 24.
24, their dodge is 10, so outstanding success, 2 bonus dice. And how much is this area of effect?
It's a medium blast, and then those affected must take a standard strength test. Those who pass suffer 2 shock, and those who fail are knocked out.
Okay, so,
Nice. Strong.
and does it say anything for good or outstanding successes?
It does not.
And you don't roll any damage?
Doesn't say. That's all it says.
You suffer 2 shock
Detonates
or
on impact.
get KO'd.
And it's just, they just roll strength,
Strength test.
but they're stymied, so that's going to be -2. With that roll, though, gosh darn, it seems like there should be more that you should be able to hammer them. Okay, so it's a medium area of effect, can blast 3 of them, and so they need to roll. You see one of them just kind of as the potion. So her gun, you can see this is the turret. Just kind of roll it again, and poof, something just lobs out. When it hits, it lands just beautiful shot, smack dab right in the middle of the war wagon. Just this alchemical concoction just explodes, almost like a flashbang grenade is the closest thing that we can refer to it. And when everything kind of settles, 2 of the people are just kind of holding their ears or their heads and just kind of hands reaching out to keep themselves balanced, and one of them just went out. All right, so is that everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Put our cards
new
in.
round, and everybody put in a destiny card to the pool.
So when you're disconnected, are you still able to use this one, Second Wind, to
Play to
remove
recover.
shock?
Yes.
Or what
You
about
you can't
cards?
use possibilities.
Cards as a possibility.
No.
Okay.
So any type of possibility that something until you reconnect, you're not able to do. So you're at the mercy of Tharkhold. And
When
that
does
is
she-
not a good feeling.
When does she re-roll to try to reconnect?
Immediately at the new turn. So
Okay,
just waiting
gotcha.
for everyone to put
Alright.
their cards in.
So she can use things like add +3 to your roll?
Yes.
Okay.
So new attack. Heroes go first. Villains are stymied. So that means the ones that also are, so that they're now even more negative. So you need to make a reality roll, DN10.
12.
12, yeah. So the oppressive, violent, depraved reality of Tharkhold that was seeping into you, you push back. You don't know what's worse, Tharkhold or Orosh. Both are just awful. But you get back into what you know, and you reconnect to the reality that you know. All right, heroes first. Who's up?
I'm up. So, with the brains in the machines, is there something I can contact by telepathy?
Yes.
I'm going to attack there,
Okay.
letting them know you're interrupting a mission from Volkov. You need to take out the Wanderers, and I'll identify in thought the carload.
So you're attempting to trick.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead and hand them this, please.
So this is mistaken identity. Play to be mistaken for someone else when it's advantageous for you. Someone working with your foes. Roger that.
Now, do you want a telepathy roll to start with?
You still have to make contact with the brain.
All right, so you want a telepathy roll to start with.
I have +3.
Yeah.
I'll take a +3. Now, is that at the end or on
No,
the dial?
it says after you.
Can you get the benefit of more than one card?
No, I can only use, I can be used by one.
But didn't you just play that one now?
Yeah, I
the
played.
one.
Oh, wait, that's right. I can't play an
Yeah,
additional
somebody-
one.
no.
So
Somebody
I
who's-
can play one for you though,
That's
and
what
this
I'm
is a
saying, so
supporter
gain
one.
the
So
benefit of-
this is a
of-
supporter one, so I'll play this for you.
So
Plus
it'll
3.
end up being a 14.
14. You're able to make contact with it. And what do you tell it again?
I should be able to make contact with both because I can get up to 10 on the 14.
Wrong path.
Okay, so you make contact
Yeah,
with the brains.
I'm going to tell it.
That's
you
his-
You are interrupting one of Volkov's mission. Attack, destroy this vehicle, identifying that vehicle, and move on.
You feel back acknowledgement, but also curiosity to what the mission is.
I'll push back beyond your pay grade.
Roll intimidation.
So that is going to be an 18.
You feel them submit. They accept it. Pick 2 destiny cards or draw 2 and pick which one you want to keep and add to your hand.
I have a question. This thing that says domination, when intimidation is approved, does that mean when someone succeeds on an intimidation roll, or that intimidation is an approved action on the card?
You know, actually, you're right. That would be, it's not approved, it's attack and taunt. So I apologize, Barry, but...
I'm sorry, Barry.
No, I'm good.
But what it did fit within what Tharkhold is, and so you are granted a possibility for that.
Thank you.
So you feel the brains submit, and they're like, okay, and all the one's guns that was pointed at you, and you guys see the turrets turn in on.
Hold your fire. Let's let the drones destroy them.
I did already blast a drone. I don't know if that's gonna be bad for us or not, but
So they're gonna the drones. Since you tell them to hold, the drones are now operating under
told
heroes.
them to hold.
Yeah, you told the
Yep.
party to hold. So the
I'm gonna
drones
let
are
their turn.
operating under heroes. So
Yep.
they're gonna go ahead
We're
and
gonna
go.
take their turns.
What you see is them drop this kind of disc that comes down and then hovers above the drone. Both of them do, and they open up. You hear this high pitch hum, and like this laser-like monofilament starts coming out and spinning with these mines as they're going, and it just starts wreaking havoc in. Oh goodness! Yeah, they're basically the mine that they drop. Both of them just coming in. Think a weed whacker with monofilament lines that are just destroying human flesh.
Like a blender.
It just lacerates, the remaining survivors, and you see just this cloud of red liquid just start circulating around them, and when they're completely destroyed, the mines just drop. The two drones, send you good fortune for your mission.
Continue on.
And they continue on.
Nice.
Everybody roll 1d3 and tell me what you get, because you get...
Oh, I thought it kind of depended on how tough the thing was. That's up to you. I'll definitely take 3. D6, yeah.
divided by 2.
1 to 3.
So that's 2.
2.
So 2. You said you got 3, Bear?
3.
I rolled a 2.
So 1 for you.
Great.
So we take back our cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now I use my cosmic cards. Does that mean I draw another one or no?
No.
Oh yeah. Cool.
We
So,
don't draw a cosmic card to the next act.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh.
Or actually the next scene.
Scene.
Yes. So once again,
The drones. They're flying away.
Yes, that was me. Azrael, continue.
You could control drones.
No,
No.
but I can tell them what they need to know.
They had brains.
They have they're operated or powered by
Oh, they had.
a human brain and are therefore accessible to Max with his telepathy power.
Just so.
yeah, I mean, you from your realm, the cybernetics, the technology's there too.
Yeah, I mean that's a little grotesque for, it's like we're more eloquent with our cybernetics instead of having like
squishy brain.
brain saucers. Like that's so it's barbaric for me, but I know what it is.
Primitive.
Yes,
Very primitive.
we had that technology hundreds of years ago.
It's legacy technology, but
I mean, it's like having a flip phone when everybody else has smartphones. You just have a brain saucer.
my brain saucer was packing some big guns. It's good that Max was able to thwart them.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
We should continue.
We
should
should
stop
continue.
talking.
Let's
Good insurance policy.
stop chit-chatting. Let's go.
Run.
So now, if you guys want, you do have the option of a vehicle.
I thought that vehicle
I
got
thought the vehicle was
forged.
destroyed.
Yeah.
Just the flesh inside of it was.
Well, hell yeah.
Well, then it's going to be full of like liquid flesh.
It's all kinds of goo.
Yeah, let's pass on that.
Pass. Hard pass.
Because who knows if they come back into that vehicle
Want to
again.
take that ballista? I'm gonna go down vehicle and search the
Yeah,
vehicle.
take whatever you want, man, but
I'm gonna
quick.
look at the vehicle real quick. There might be something. You know what? I'd like to see if there's a radio on one of those guys. Maybe listen in on their chatter.
Go ahead and roll find.
Okay.
You're gonna just let him walk away from
20?
the group like that?
Yeah. He made his
So
decisions.
22.
His peace with his god over
so
there.
8. So that's gonna be a 19.
No radios.
No radios at all. Nothing in the vehicle.
Well, I mean, there's plenty in the vehicle. So they have like a short little submachine gun. The armor that they're wearing seems to still be intact. There's 4 battle axes inside, so in case they get into hand-to-hand.
All right. I just gotta leave that. I was just looking for more like radio.
What kind of armor is it?
So imagine What's that?
Bloody.
Yeah, extremely
Torn
gory armor. However, again, you feel Tharkhold that it's okay in Tharkhold to wear the blood of your enemy as a badge, since what they once owned and now defeated is yours.
This may end up going hand in hand with the domination. Others run into us.
Wonderful. I would like to animate skeletons.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm second guessing myself. I think that we have to take the car buggy thing so we can get there faster. And if it's from here, we might not be recognized as quickly.
Maybe we should put on the uniforms.
Yeah.
Maybe
and,
not the full uniforms, but some of the armor.
These are
Right.
probably from nomads or warriors outside the city. We should probably not wear those.
What about the vehicle?
I don't know.
We can wear it till we get close enough.
But if we're driving it wasn't that set off an alarm for other more sinister things that may exist here?
do you think,
Potentially, the
Max?
drone's going to be aware of its look. It will pass to the rest of the network. It's very possible that we may get seen and identified as that group. I think we're wasting time, but it's your choice.
As the expert of this realm, do you think it's safer to go slower by foot or faster in this vehicle?
Slower by foot.
Slower by foot it is.
Prior to, I would like to animate these skeletons that are here.
Well, body armor, does the armor, so if I wore it, what would it add to, how does that work?
So game mechanics, basically if you strap on the armor, it'd be a chest plate. It'd be like Alderon's with spikes on it, as well as spikes on the knees and on, covering your thighs. It would give +2 to your toughness, and in hand-to-hand, it would give +2 to your strength.
I'm going to wear a suit of the armor. I'm going to put on some Tharkhold armor.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab some too.
Okay.
There's another one behind the screen. She had to use 2. Did you roll a 1?
+2 to my strength.
Again?
But that was for my extra ones.
Is it because Barry touched it?
He didn't.
No!
He just cast it
It's a
upon
bane
us.
of dice.
Don't even look at their dice.
It's contagious, man.
Just hold your breath.
I was telling her as she was making the roll, see, you animate it like a midget skeleton, like a head and 1 foot bone.
Luckily, I
Basically,
have
it's
good.
hand from the Addams Family.
Alright, I'm wearing a suit of the armor.
So you guys put your armor on. Eva, it adds +2 to your toughness, and then +2 to hand-to-hand. So
Hand-to-hand or melee?
it would be hand-to-hand, so like grappling,
Okay.
and it would be +2 to strength.
For all of us?
For those who put the armor on.
Okay.
So I rolled a 25, and my DN was 16.
Okay, so it's going to be a good success.
Okay, so the skeletons gain a +1 to strength. So it says the spell must be cast in the presence of a nearby complete skeletons. If it is cast in a dark or pitch black location or in a graveyard, not a Gospog field, the casting is favored.
Dark,
It's dark.
so casting is favored.
What does that mean?
Favored means you actually can, if you don't like the first roll again, but you have to take it.
I'll just stick with what I rolled already because it's done.
What was the first roll?
7. And then 2 ones. So on a success, the skeleton animates and joins the caster. If multiple skeletons animate, they form a mob.
How many can you animate?
It doesn't say that. I think it just means that how many skeletons are nearby, because it says cast in the presence of nearby complete skeletons. So it doesn't.
Sounds like a mob.
Yeah.
So the way that monofilament just ripped the flesh, I would say it ripped it to a point where they're skeletal.
Cut through the bones and everything.
So they are skeletons.
No, it shredded the flesh.
Oh, there you go.
Didn't
Cool.
shred the bone, like cut the bone, but it
Perfect.
shredded
That's
flesh.
kind of what I was
That's what she
thinking.
wants,
That's
yeah.
rather than the zombie thing. That's why I went with skeleton. So
Yeah, and you would know the difference.
right. That's what I was assuming. So how many skeletons do I have?
Skeleton
But if
mob.
we've got a bunch of skeletons
so it's just a
following us
mob?
around,
It's just a mob.
a
It's
Yeah.
skeleton
Just a mob.
follows
Okay,
around,
so then
won't
it's a
that
mob. Okay.
Make that worse for our stealth.
So you have 5 because
Got a bunch of skeletons following us around.
Is it 5 or is it a mob? So it says if you animate
yeah,
one,
so
it gets +1
If
strength.
multiple skeletons animate, they form a mob. So then I have to.
So it's just whatever a mob is for.
characters and creatures in Torg Eternity.
I'm assuming it's got a different ability. West Side Story skeletons.
Okay, so a mob is a game mechanic that allows for large groups to be able to be engaged in combat with the parties. But what we're doing is things like shock, but undead are immune to, they have no shock.
Yep.
Basically, the mob is treated as one whole as opposed to
5 separate singles.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're going to have a +1 to strength. So roll as the skeletons, but then...
So 2 of them are actually going to have a +2 to strength, because 3 of the characters took the armor, that left the armor for 2, and in like grappling combat, it adds +2 strength damage. So armored skeletons.
Armored skeletons. Okay.
It is Tharkhold. All right, so casting's done. You guys strapped on the bloody armor, wiped off as much of the gore as possible, but just. But again, wearing the blood of your enemy seems right in this world.
I'm like, smearing it in it. I go.
So
We don't do that here.
It fits within the law of ferocity.
Did they have weapons that are still intact as well?
Battle axes.
I will tell the skeletons to pick up the battle axes.
All 5 of them do. Are you all in the vehicle?
Yes.
we're going. We
Or
decided
we're
we're
on
on
foot.
foot.
Oh, no, you're right. We went back. I went back and forth in my head. We're all on foot because we feel like it would be safer to be stealthy but slow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then we summoned a mob of skeletons to follow.
Clanging around in the armor.
With battle axe.
It's not metal armor. It's... Where the hell did you get the plate mail?
So you start making your way into Moscow, heading out. You guys landed about 10 miles out. You walked about a mile in before you saw the vehicles, and it's still early morning and dawn is starting to now rise. So how are you moving? Are you actually trying to move stealthily into the city?
I think a little bit quicker at first until we get right up to the
Yeah.
city, and then
I wish there was like an in-between, because it's not like I'm going to walk up to the door and go, hey, But I'm also hastily with stealth, so it's like I'm not trying to walk up and be all loud, but I'm also not trying to like sneak so sneaky
That we're going super slow.
that we're going so slow.
Okay. So I'm going to need a stealth roll. Every one of you can add, but it is going to be -1 per skeleton because they're just not able to move stealthily. So it'll be a -5, and your DN is going to be 12.
mine's 11.
So that's
So
I'm gonna add +1.
Mine's only 9, so 1.
Yeah, I'm going to add +1.
I'm going to add 12.
okay.
I rolled a
there we
43.
go.
Oh, 2 20s.
So mine was 9.
1 to me.
21. Oh, yeah. 21, 22, 23, 24.
Is that the -5?
19.
19.
So no problem.
The sneakiest skeletons out there.
It's clear, it's just not that, but it's obvious that Max knows how to navigate this. I mean, he grew up like this. He knows how to stay silent. He knows how to move. And with Azrael, you listening to, his
Oh,
suggestions.
wait, was I making the stealth?
No.
Okay.
So, like,
I was just adding.
you were,
Yes,
yeah,
you're
you're
I was
making,
just making sure, because if I was making the stealth, it's way the fuck better than that.
no, you're making the suggestions. And so, like I said, with Max making the suggestions, you're able to navigate and with relatively decent time. So let's see here. You're moving at a good time for a mile. Let's go about 12-minute miles because you're trying to move, but move about stealthily. So 9 miles, 12
That's
minutes.
borderline jogging.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we have to go 9 miles.
yeah.
So we're an hour and what, 45?
About that, a little under 2 hours in. So it's about 8 o'clock in the morning when you start making your way into one of the main broken down highways that used to be Moscow.
I checked the radiation disc.
It has gotten lighter. It's still like a cross between green and yellow, but you can still see a faintness of green. You guys keep moving.
Do we know where we're going?
Just to the southwest of the town, which is where Moscow State is.
Mm-hmm.
So we just follow my compass going southwest.
The part of the information that you guys did receive too is that the Laskin crime family operates underground, and so Gruber did not tell you that they were able to make contact, but he said that your Delphi pass cards, basically your passports, will be able to get you an audience with them.
I'm gonna, as we're getting closer in, then I'm gonna cast Foresight. Spellcaster thinks of a person, item, area, or course of action and receive an indication about the situation. It doesn't say that I have to know the person, but I'm gonna think of the Alaskan people that we're looking. Did they give us a name?
Yuri.
So I'm gonna think of Yuri and cast Foresight.
Okay. What is the DN on that?
It is 10.
Okay. bump that up a little bit.
24.
Oh, yeah. So, and this is divination magic?
Yeah, and so on a success, the diviner may look at the top card of the drama deck and then return it to the top of the deck. At the GM's option, she may also give the diviner a vision of a possible future.
So it's both you look at the top card of the drama deck, or was it an or? I'm sorry.
It's at the GM's option. She may also give the diviner a vision of a possible future.
With an outstanding roll like that, you see with equal potential 2 visions that seem to be warring back and forth with each other. In one of the visions, you see this female. She has dark hair is kind of spiked just on one side, and then the hair grows down long, and she kind of wears in a ponytail. The left side of her head is basically kind of like mine, with little splotches of skin that are through. She's dressed in kind of like leather armor, and she holds this just powerful air of command about her, and you see her and other humans and demons together just shredding your party. But yet, also equally possible, you see the same woman assisting you, giving you guidance and even encouragement.
All right.
Be very careful.
Well, I'm assuming that she got that information and is now going to relay it to us, because out of character, we did not hear that from inside her head.
Right. So just confirm what you...
So I'm going to do this real quick just before I forget. I have seen a vision of possibility, which could be 2 different outcomes. One of a female with dark hair, spiked on one side that's long, bald on the other. She could either help us incredibly or turn against us and destroy us with the demons.
Max, roll streetwise. DN 8.
Oh, wow, 8.
From what she describes and from what you've heard, even on your side, she possibly cannot be describing Jezreel herself.
That's who I was thinking she meant. Well, that description fits the actual demon lord who's against Volkov. One of the 3. That describes Jezreel.
And you all remember from the briefing that Tharkhold on Earth is being contested by 3, Thrachin, Volkov, and Jezreel.
It seems as though possibly we could go to this Jezreel and ask of her assistance, and if she may be willing to help us. Otherwise, she will be used to destroy us.
She could just as easily turn and kill any of us with a thought.
Do you know anything about her?
She killed the High Lord. She took his life by choking him to death. She has made an absolute mess of her realm. She's human, as you heard in the description. She's a thrall. She was born into slavery, but she runs her realm in complete chaos. Everybody, anything anyone wants to do, basically, is at their own whim. There seems to be no control. I don't even know how we would approach her.
Do you think she'd even be more on our side if she knew of what Thrachin and Yavich's plans were?
That would be my only guess. How certain are you of this
I am confident.
sight?
I am confident that there are 2 possible outcomes. One is she helps us, and the other, she helps destroy us.
How can we tip towards the one that would help us? Can you see that?
I could not see that, but I would imagine if we were to, as Ava has suggested, possibly speak with her, but I did not see that.
That would be the only way I could see this working. If we're able to let her know what Yavich is doing, Yavich being one of the alphas for Thrachin, she would potentially help us only to keep it from Thrachin.
And the fact that we've already dealt with him briefly.
Well, are you going to tell her that we beat him, or scared him off, or some such?
We have experience with him.
Where did you see her? How do we contact her? How will we come in near her or approach her?
I do not know this. I just got a brief image.
Is there any way to avoid this vision? Or are we going to run into her one way or another?
I believe based on my abilities, it is going to be one way or the other, based on my confidence in this vision I saw.
So, you know that your magic was dead on and you were attuned.
This is
it's one or the other.
It is inevitable.
But we don't know
she helps us or she hurts.
And we don't know what's going to tip the scale in either direction.
I do not know. I just know.
I was hoping you would know that, Max.
As I said, she's a creature driven by whim. She's going to help us because it it would delight her to cause Thrachin pain, or she's going to harm us because it would delight her to cause us pain.
Don't need to play to the side that benefits her.
Aye.
If it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to run into her, then I say we hasten that meeting.
And have a plan for what that meeting will be. But first, do we not have to meet up with Alaskan Yuri?
You tell Azrael. Do we have to go there first? What did your vision say?
Again, the vision is just that we will have her either on our side or against us. I do not know at what point this will happen, but I believe that we should continue on the path that we are going for now, and eventually it will lead us to that point in which we will help make that decision.
Then it sounds like we go on to Moscow's university.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
We continue on.
So what I really liked Ava's idea about that, so I'm going to go ahead and reward you a possibility.
Thank you.
For putting that out there. And you guys continue. So from here, based off of the map, I need somebody to roll ultimately a find or a streetwise, whatever is better.
I've got 13 in find.
Yeah, don't ask me.
20, roll again.
So 23.
So you're able to kind of weave your way basically in the direction that you're going, and with what limited information that they had and trying to piece together landmarks, get yourself into a position to where you believe you are approaching the outskirts of what used to be the campus of Moscow State. Your earlier stealth roll has helped prevent you guys from actually coming across a group of soldiers. When you hid, Barry, you weren't able to recognize who they potentially are fighting for, but the way that they moved, you recognize them as professional soldiers.
Okay.
Let us move into the campus.
Let's go.
How are you guys going into the campus? And so continually with a stealth roll, and how you've been traveling, or kind of a little bit more bold?
So I'm going to look at Azrael. I'm going to look at the skeletons. I'm going to look back at Azrael.
And just confirming, you said this area is Delphi?
So this area is where the Alaskan crime family has set up their base of operations, and they are allies with the Delphi Council, is what Gruber told you.
If we don't sneak, then they may see us before we see them.
Well, I'm worried about sneaking because if, like, for lack of a better word, being a coward is not. That's a show of the opposite of strength, and I kind of want to knock on the door with confidence.
I think that's the right choice. However,
rather than like sneak.
I'm pointing at the 5 skeletons.
They can help with some intimidation.
Yes, I kind of want to knock on the door with like, I came in here for a purpose, and I'm going to accomplish that purpose.
Okay. So roll intimidate.
Can we add to it?
I'm going to put my. Well, I guess it's not a scene. Play at any time.
Oh yeah, no, this is a scene.
Okay.
So, yeah,
play at any time for the rest of the scene. Intimidation is favored.
Okay.
Nice.
And favored is.
So you get to roll, and if you don't like it, you roll again.
But I have to
But
take
you
this,
have to keep it.
even if it's lower.
So, but where it is like a 1, you can actually.
Right. If you roll super
do as
low,
helpers, we can do
like
that.
that.
Yes.
Oh,
you can
cool.
pick again. You can roll again.
Well, I rolled a 2.
There we go. It's much better.
I'm doing a second roll.
Okay.
Because I rolled a 2.
Oh yeah.
That was a 12.
Who's
So you have to
adding
take
and who's
that.
rolling?
I'm adding
rolled,
one.
so.
I'll add 1.
Okay.
So I'm adding to my 12, right?
So what Dave asked is, you can, because you are adding intimidation, I'm allowing the favored to go to it.
Oh,
Oh,
all right,
so-
then I'll roll.
Yeah.
And does the ad go onto the bonus number or no?
It's just the add.
Just
So
okay.
yeah.
So I'm adding +6.
So I've got 6, that's 12.
16.
Add 9.
So look to 16 is
Oh
going
my
to be
God, I'm
plus
gonna
So
have to get a
3.
that's
calculator out.
25.
14.
You're adding 14?
39.
So 39 is plus 11.
Plus.
So what did
Well,
you?
No.
I rolled-
No, I'm saying that's 30.
I rolled 12.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
And I added a 9 to that.
And I added
Yeah, so
6.
if we're
that's
if
21.
39 and 12 is going to be 51 is your.
Yeah. 14.
We're just doing the ad. We're not adding the attribute,
To
right?
my.
Right.
Wait, was
Oh,
I
okay.
rolling again?
It's just the number down there.
Yeah, you're just
Just
doing the
three.
add.
Just 3.
So
I'm
3.
sorry, subtract 3, go to 40.
It's 3.
Oh no. 11.
15, 18.
21.
Okay. Outstanding success.
I'm like, "Grr."
We're here.
So Basically, as you guys are moving in, basically bold as brass, and you're well armed. You look like you're carrying yourselves like you know what you're doing.
I've got a necromancer on my team with 5 skeletons.
And you're walking with 5 skeletons carrying battle axes, dressed in armor, and not to mention that 3 of you are wearing bloodied gourd armor that's, the blood of your enemies. So, on top of, some of the ruined buildings that you guys see, not all are just rubble. There's still, varying heights. And so, all of a sudden, up in the windows, you kind of start seeing people appearing. They're not taking any type of aggressive action. They're just looking, and it looks like they're radioing ahead.
Caw-caw!
Yeah. It's not like Isle, they have radios. And so, they're not hiding themselves either.
I think we're in the right place.
We're looking for Yuri.
If you call up to them, they don't answer, but but they continue. They just radio ahead. So do you keep walking, or are you stopping and looking?
Are we inside?
No. You're still kind of, think of it like you're coming into a large campus quad area that's been completely destroyed, but yet the buildings that were once there at varying different levels as you're walking down, people are looking out at the windows at you. Basically,
I'm
going
to wait in the quad area.
Okay, so you wait in the quad, and you called up, you're looking for Yuri. So everyone's kind of quiet, then one of them just kind of points to the direction that you guys are walking.
Continue on.
You continue on. You follow this road. It's pretty kind of, for those that look closely, it looks like it's still the chaos from Destroyed, but you see pattern to it. And you can see where it's traversed, and you can even start, those that look really close can see vehicle tracks. And you can see where this, it's definitely been moving, but it's designed to look like the destruction and the randomness of it, but yet there's pattern.
Do these tracks match from the vehicles that we encountered earlier?
These are single, so, not basically like 4 wheels, but basically 2 wheels. So
Motorcycles.
Yeah. And this path that you're on leads to the broken down just husk of what used to be just this beautiful hall. And it goes straight to this, and standing out in front of the hall, you see a group of about 10 people. They are armed. They're armed with machine guns, but they're not pointed up. They're just kind of at an at-ready position. And you see one guy step out in front of them. He stands maybe about 6 feet, really emaciated and gaunt. So only about 130 pounds. Salt and pepper gray
He's
hair.
malnourished.
What's that? Yeah.
Sorry.
Salt and pepper hair that's just kind of just oily and just kind of combed back, covering a bald spot. And he's dressed in what looks like used to be at one point was probably really nice fancy suit, but it's just been tattered and old and worn and sweated and bled in. And he's standing there with his arms folded across his chest, and they appear to be waiting for you.
Are you Yuri?
I am Yuri, and you are?
I am Azrael.
I don't know an Azrael.
We are Team Zulu.
I will take my take my identification card out and show it to him.
And so
Good.
it's like fold over like a passport. Mm-hmm. And so he holds out, so he doesn't take it from you.
Yep.
Ah, you're a Delphi Council then.
We are.
May I see yours, please? Thank you. May I? Thank you. Thank you. And I'm assuming Iara will do the same. Mm-hmm. So he hands it back. We were not informed that Delphi Council would be sending anyone. Do you wish to discuss why you are here? I invite you down for refreshments.
If we could go somewhere more private, I would appreciate that.
Indeed. What about your entourage?
He's looking at the skeleton.
Yeah, I was like, we might have to pause to see what she wants to do about the skeletons.
Okay.
Because I don't know. It's not my call. They're hers.
They're like puppets.
Yeah, I don't know if we tell them to stay outside if they
like dogs, they'll sit
More
down.
like paparazzi,
Roll over.
bark at the door.
So
Knock over some of the...
you guys meet this kind of emaciated, tall, skinny guy in this really beat up suit. He confirms himself as Yuri, and he checked their Delphi pass cards, And so he invited you guys inside for refreshments and what he could do for you. But before you go inside, he asked about your entourage.
I didn't want to make the call without you here, because they're not mine.
I appreciate that.
Well, they wouldn't obey her, though.
Yeah.
What would you like to know?
We're going inside. Are you going to bring them with you, or are they going to sit outside?
Duh.
They can stay outside if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Very good.
I just tell them to hang out here and don't move.
So they're like just, they can just...
Sit here looking conspicuous.
Look like a pile of dead things.
Like the little puppets that you push up from the bottom and they just collapse.
So 5 of his men stay out with 5 of your skeletons. It's just, protocol, courtesy, and
It's okay, we don't like them either.
and you guys go down. As you enter into the building, you can see where a pathway is formed down into the underground. It's been secured and definitely worked on as a tunnel, including electricity, so it's inside, so you don't need to worry about light. And he leads you basically into a kind of an office setting. He points to his men and they line up on the wall, and he goes to the end of this like big office conference room type of looking place. There's a door there. He opens it up. Inside, and surprisingly well furnished, basically is like a really nice office. Desk, couch, water cooler, even a bar with some alcohol, bookshelf with some books that have survived. And so, I mean, it actually is a surprisingly well intact office that's deep down inside. So he goes over to the bar, and so he says, "May I offer you any type of refreshments?"
I'm okay.
I'll take a water.
So he grabs a glass, over to the water bottle, just himself, and he hands it to you. Anyone else?
I'll take something.
What would you like?
What do you have?
Do we have water, or we have something a little bit stronger?
How about something a little stronger?
And so he grabs a tumbler.
This isn't Sacramento wine.
So he grabs a tumbler and just kind of, picks a bottle and just...
Pours me some vodka.
No. Actually, more of a cognac. Just a nice, deep, just amber cognac, and he hands it to you.
I'll take it.
It's got one of those fancy ice cubes in it.
No, he serves it neat.
Oh.
So he, slowly, methodically walks down behind his desk, pulls the chair out, sits down, scoots in, and he says, "Now, would you please consider telling me why the Delphi Council has sent you here?"
We're searching for something in this realm that will help us remove the threat that Tharkhold and all the other cosms are posing on Core Earth.
Okay.
Like, throw me a bone here. What are we looking for?
The Eternity Shard.
Eternity Shard?
That's it, yeah. Same thing.
I was going to say something about a gauntlet if this is the wrong.
Commander, would you like me to take over?
Yes, please.
We're looking for an Eternity Shard. We know not where it is or where to find it, but we believe that there is a demon from this realm working with a magician, sorcerer. I'm looking at Iara.
She is like me.
Which would be a
Necromancer.
We potentially in league with a necromancer from Isle. We believe that if we can find this shard, it will help reduce the control that the realms have on Core Earth.
What he said.
And what demon is it?
Yavich.
Yavich. That is troublesome.
It is also possible that Azrael may be able to help us.
His eyes just like literally
I was thinking
just
I was going to keep
lit
that
up
quiet.
and did a double take, and he's a... How is that a possibility?
I do not know how much I should share with you.
The Delphi Council has sent you to me because we are allied with them. We have been able to recover actual portions of the Maelstrom Bridge that was obliterated and give it to the Delphi Council. Hence our alliance, and hence much of the intelligence that they've received for the realm. The more that you can provide me, the more that I can help you.
I think you should tell him.
I saw a vision in which 2 possible outcomes were a surety, one in which Jezreel helped us, and one in which she destroyed us. These are the 2 possible outcomes, but one will happen, and I am certain of it.
So you are certain that you will come across Jezreel?
I am.
I would not wish that upon anyone. Are you aware of her?
Max has provided us some information about her.
I'm aware of her.
then you are aware that she is completely chaotic and driven only by her most primal and base desires.
Yes, that's what I told them.
It's hard to negotiate with a creature that just operates off of passion.
We will meet her with equal passion then.
If I may offer advice to that, it would not be wise to take on Azrael here into combat.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to combat.
Do you think there's a chance Azrael could be here? I thought Volkov ran this with an iron fist.
In Moscow itself, Moscow is a triangulation point of all three factions vying for power. Volkov typically operates out of St. Petersburg, although he makes a pretense of Moscow being his home base. We rarely see him. Azrael, on the other hand, is actually a quite common occurrence here.
Do you have advice on how we may be able to help get her to be on our side?
It's well known that Azrael hates Thracian. The old saying, enemy of my enemy is my ally. If you can somehow convince her that you are in league against Thracian, she may be able to aid.
Does she know of Yavich working with him?
She would know of Yavich. Yavich is an alpha demon, kind of like a general to Thracian.
Where you say that we should not encounter her here, where would you suggest we try to encounter her?
She is completely random. Her patrols are random throughout the city, and it depends on her whim that she decides to go out with them. She still very much revels in the killing. So it seems that when she needs satiating, she goes out with her patrols. Did the Delphi Council provide you any information on where to look of where Yavich has been operating?
That was why we came to you.
Yavich, last that we knew when he was here, we could put him back to the Kremlin, the Red Square, and where he was operating over there. We don't know exactly what building he was in, but we know that his base of operations were there. We also know that, about a month ago, him and his pride had left that area.
They went to Isle.
That would be my assumption, too.
Mm-hmm. We encountered him in Isle.
You've seen Yavich?
We did.
Briefly. With the Lady Nightbird.
I don't know of a Lady Nightbird.
She is the necromancer Max spoke of.
So it appears that they have formed some type of alliance over there with your realm.
Would you have any idea why?
Nothing that we've been able to uncover could lend us to that. The best that I can do is send a couple over to help guide you to the Kremlin, and perhaps you can find something over there that may aid you in your quest and help locate the Eternity Shard that you search for.
I don't want to hasten the obvious and guaranteed meeting, but where does Azrael work out of?
Azrael's base is going to be on the far eastern edge of Moscow.
I think that should be our first stop.
Could you assist us in locating that?
I can point you in the direction, but I would be reticent to send men to guide you there.
Understandable.
Commander, with your leave, why don't we begin by checking Yavich's movements?
The more information we have on him, the more we can provide to Azrael.
Mm-hmm.
The more likely she'd be to help us out.
More information is always better.
Yuri, do you have anybody inside the Thracian lines? Somebody that could feed us information?
Someone that we've infiltrated? No, we haven't. We are the landscape here in Moscow is different. There are other survivors and other former Bratva that have aligned themselves with all three different factions. I myself believed in Core Earth and believe in what the Delphi Council has done. We are no longer a Bratva, but we are now soldiers in the Possibility Wars. When would you like to leave for the Kremlin?
What time is it right now?
So you got in about 10 o'clock. It took you maybe about another 2 hours to move your way through, so it's about noon.
How long would it take us to get there?
Depending upon the movement, if we went through, but to avoid any other patrols, about another 2, maybe 3 hour hike.
And Max, what is the safest time of day to travel in Tharkhold?
There's none. It wouldn't matter. Each brings its own problems.
Then I say we restock what we need to restock, supply-wise, and move out.
I can offer you what we can. What is it that you need?
I was just thinking like water or eat something before we go.
We can do that.
Oh, I'm woundy.
May I suggest, I'm fine, but for the rest of you, possibly sleep. You have been moving for well over 10 hours.
Yeah.
Rest, possibly food.
Oh, you got wounded too?
Yeah, I have one wound. 2 shots.
Yuri, is that something you could provide?
I could do that. And Yuri brings you basically like, cold cuts, bread, cheeses, and then, plenty of water.
Dill.
Come on, a little more
Not
of that
being funny, it
cognac.
would be on there.
Uh-huh.
A little more of that cognac, maybe.
Yeah, he pours you a little bit more.
Kind of tasty.
And so it just kind of makes small talk. Is there any questions that you guys want to ask of him while you guys are eating?
I'll ask him about the vehicles that we came across.
The Marauders.
Yeah, see if he knows about them.
And the brain drones.
Yeah, and the brain drones.
I'd assume that you come across some of the Marauders by wearing their armor. Were they mutated? Were you able to notice?
I do not believe the Marauders were. The drones seem to be with the brains.
So the technology here is fearsome. Apparently they're able to remove a human brain and install it into a piece of machine to control it in that format.
I've been able to do that for at least my entire life.
So
This is
you
nothing
came
new.
across the bridge then?
I did.
That sounds horrible.
As I said,
It's minor compared to other things.
he's not
I think I
wrong.
was going to crawl back to my shadows.
Do you know who these Marauders align with?
Thrachin has been making an attempt to rally the Marauders and recruit them to his side. He has been the one that is most advanced into the Blighted Lines.
And you said he controls, or at least frequents, the northern portion of Moscow.
He does indeed.
That would fit.
So it's possible that he came across some of Thrachin's forces. It's also possible that there are some Marauders who have not yet been aligned. The Marauders, remember, were survivors of the nuclear blast. Most of them have been transformed, I think the word is, to this new reality. Others have been able to maintain some semblance of our prior lives and fight against it.
My entourage were the Marauders.
It appears you are fitting well within Tharkhold. Well, after that, just kind of like small talk, and you guys end up getting ready. So
So we're not sleeping? I'm
up
just
to you.
throwing it out there. That was the question I had asked.
How long will it be before we start having effects of not sleeping?
Oh, not till 24 hours. We start, feeling, some of the stymied.
We're going to be getting close to that, though.
Yeah, I think we need to take a nap.
And I'm going to work on making
Again, I want to be
potion.
clear, I don't need that, but I think the rest of you might.
I can provide
Still
accommodations.
bloodshot eyes. And
So, basically, he leads you to a place to sleep, and he says, my assurances may or may not be welcome, but I can assure you, you will be safe here.
Thank you.
Well, how long do you guys sleep?
Is there like a minimum hours to not be affected by lack of sleep?
Typically 8, but if you wanted to go minimum 4.
we're saying it's about noon now, so
Yeah.
if we sleep till 8, we'd be just going at night.
Okay.
Crash
And
out.
give us the cover of
Dark.
some darkness to be a little bit more stealthy.
Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and wind down as you guys bed down and prepare to enter Tharkhold under the cover of night.
Oh boy.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Siegson Employees of the Month, Michael H., Michael P., and our Breaker of Seals, Frank H., Christopher C., Matthew K., Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.
And a very special thanks to our fantastic artist, Jacob Blackmon, who you can reach on his Patreon under his name, or DeviantArt under the name Prodigy Duck.